can't be mad when people don't understand your dream. Because God didn't give them your vision.
Here's Juice.
This is the Rumor Report.
If you say my name 3 times, I'm going to show up.
Beezy baby.
Beezy baby. Beezy baby.
Good morning.
On The Breakfast Club.
All right. We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Baby. Whew. In a statement, she said, after years in silence and darkness, I'm finally ready to tell my story. She's speaking up on behalf of herself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, she said it then became clear it was the opportunity to either speak up about the trauma she's experienced and she'll be recovering from for the rest of her life, or just kind of remain silent. So she chose to speak up.
What are the allegations exactly?
It just says that he did a bunch of stuff, that he allegedly gave her copious amounts of drugs, leading to a painful struggle with drug and alcohol abuse, that he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone, and that he also allegedly forced her to have sex with male sex workers while he watched.
Jesus. Male sex workers, what?
Yeah. It sounded like hired some prostitutes and then watched them,
Yikes.
do their thing.
I mean, those are some serious allegations. Cassie is entitled to file her lawsuit, and Diddy is entitled to due process. That's why these situations, should play out in court and not the court of public opinion. And I know everybody wants to have the hot take on this situation, but the reality is we don't know.
No.
We don't know what's true and what's not true, so you got to let things play out. But what I will say, when you see situations like this, don't laugh or celebrate what you think is a person's downfall, or be quick to dismiss someone's claims. Just let things play out.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so many years that they were together that if this is true, to be going through something like that for that long and remain silent, and can you imagine how many other people would have seen that? Like, I'm a domestic violence survivor. So I've been in a situation where I've been, a victim of domestic violence, and so many people saw that and saw what I looked like and what I was going through, and I just had to remain silent and continue to fight silently through those things until I could get the courage up to come out of that space and really stand on my own 2 feet. And I'm not saying it happened or it didn't, but if it happened, Cassie and a lot of other women, like her, that's a long time and a lot of trauma to be going through.
What made you speak on your situation? What happened to you?
Well, I married a guy that I shouldn't have married. A lot of us get into relationships, trauma bonds, and all of that. And he had an alcohol problem, and he tried to drown me in a bathtub in front of my children. Yeah, and for a long time, I never could identify that I was a victim of domestic violence, because a couple things. It makes you look weak. You feel ashamed. You don't want to tell. Like, I was always strong. I was always the one that other people called on. So, like, I don't even know what to do in this space. So it's not like a lot of people just say, why didn't you just leave? Well, if it was that easy, everybody would do it, It's
interesting you said you didn't identify
as a victim.
Like, what do you think was happening?
I think I just felt like there was something that I could do to change it, or something that I was doing was causing it.
Got you.
And once I realized that it didn't have nothing to do with me, it was his decision and, something he had to deal with.
Right. How did you finally leave?
What
was that moment that said enough is enough?
Well, I realized that my daughters were watching me, and that, I had just come home from prison. I was like a year out of prison, still on parole, just moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I was scared, but I was like, bro, I'm either going to stay in this relationship and potentially end up losing my life, open my kids up to more trauma, or, I'm going to gather myself and just try.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Absolutely.
Baby. Sending you healing energy, sending everybody dealing with those type of situations healing energy. Like, you got to like my Palo Santo. If you find out any of this is true, though, it's just another teaching lesson. Do right by people and make sure when nobody's looking, you are who you say you are, because you cannot run from yourself or your demons.
Absolutely.
Amen. So,
we're going to stop there?
That's heavy.
All right.
So sending lots of healing energy to anybody that's going through a domestic violence situation. You're not a victim, baby. You're a survivor daily. Let's go.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, Teslin Figaro has front page news. And then UFC champion Sean O'Malley will be joining us. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.